Welcome back to Two Cool Guys. I'm one cool guy.
I am too cool guy.
AI is the great
Top of the
filter.
morning.
You know what the great filter is? It's the point that humanity reaches when
We're too smart
everything
for our own
stops
good.
working. Everything stops working. Everybody dies. It's AI.
Does it relate itself to the Fermi paradox kind of thing?
I don't
No, it
know.
doesn't.
I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, you
Okay,
have.
no, I haven't. We do not within. Ugh. We do not exist within a government that follows the will of the people. The system has chosen the will of corporations through lobbying and exists solely to benefit the ultra wealthy. Artificial intelligence and its advancement is perpetuated by a laminar flow of money and resources. Our country
I
has
decided to
invested
use the term laminar flow is it because it seems like so like uh uh
constant, constant and
imperfect,
stable. Yeah.
stable. Yeah.
Our country has invested into a machine that has the ability to improve our lives in many ways, but a greater and ever growing ability to end our lives. Great filter.
Nice little contrast there with that.
Data
Stay with that.
centers, or the facilities that run artificial intelligence programs, are a physical manifestation of the priority of profit over mankind. One of the direct displays of this is where the centers are built. There's a label for poor communities that have been ravaged by pollution, toxicity, and environmental harm. They're called sacrifice zones. Did you know that?
No, I
There's
didn't. Now I
poor
do.
places in America labeled sacrifice zones because they're so polluted. Anybody, yeah, it's dystopian, but in the home of the free, people are born and die in these sacrifice zones.
No,
Sacrificial
where people are
lambs
born.
to the computer box. The mere fact that billions are poured into AI infrastructure rather than distributed to those who've been born into poverty as a sacrifice shows where the American values currently lie. Data centers are
Getting
built
just
within
revved
these
up by your
sacrifice
own
zones
writing.
and within poor communities specifically. We're all aware of the fact that AI is reliant on water. Did you know it's drinking water? Did you know it's drinking
So are
water?
we. We're relying on drinking water.
Exactly. But do we want a machine to be relying on it too? Data centers are being built within
We're
kill
just a
zones.
machine that's
Okay,
fleshy.
wait. I got to flow here. Data centers are being built within kill zones, siphoning clean drinking water so that people can replace their girlfriends and boyfriends with AI. It doesn't stop there. These clean
Killzone
water,
sounds like a bad place.
yeah, yeah, it
Why are they
only
in a
works
place
like
called a
that.
kill zone? Did they not notice the signage? Anyway, moving on.
Okay,
That's
I
too
gotta find my
complicated of
flow.
a discussion to
Okay,
continue.
it doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop there. These
It can if I
clean
keep interrupting. Just
These
kidding. Keep
clean
going.
water stealing, brain rotting, tung 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 sahur facilities are polluting these communities even further. You'd think that if AI represents advancement, they'd be run on clean energy systems. Not only water, but jobs are being stolen by artificial intelligence. No new jobs are being created, and AI has focused on stealing the jobs of our most creative members of society first, imitating a human
That is
soul.
lame.
That is
I do
lame.
agree. That why did that have to be the first thing it strikes? Like that's always something I was curious about. It's like if if we were led to believe by them that that it's not important, then why are they so adamant on that being evolved, right? If we are fine and we don't have any concerns about it replacing us at any point, I think Guillermo del Toro said this, where he's like, if they say it's not important, we shouldn't worry. Why do they keep trying to make it better at like doing creative things, huh?
Mm,
Like it's true because like they are outputting all this effort for it to keep getting better at the one thing. It's literally the one
yeah,
thing where like that's off limits is
yeah,
the touchy human shit that gives us a reason to live. And they're like, okay, AI's out and it's touching the touchy stuff. Oh my
yeah.
god.
It's almost like AI is designed to replace you. It drinks your water, pollutes your air, steals your jobs, steals the money, that should rightfully be going towards income inequality, but it's all ones and zeros. And artificial intelligence provides a mask.
And we the ones.
And artificial intelligence provides a mask for the perpetrators to hide behind. The perpetrators who fight against regulation of AI, who prioritize profit over people. The same people whom, even when jobs are being taken, will lobby against a universal basic income because they don't want to admit that human life is inherently valuable.
I have an interesting point to make before you continue your next fragment. Okay. Is artificial intelligence replacing your life? It's like it's drinking your water. It's creating pollution. It's essentially being really effective at imitating our worst qualities and amplifying them. So I think that's why we take so much like hassle with it. Essentially, is because we're seeing in it mainly what we don't want to see within ourselves. Like, we create pollution, we take up a lot of water, we harm the environment, and then here comes AI, which is doing the bad things really efficiently. We don't want bad things to be an efficient part of us. It's a byproduct of trying to do good. But for AI, it's its sole existence to like, and its sole existence is to already replace a part of us that is good. So it's like, its bad is like I guess a more prominent byproduct, but for us, we're like, we don't want it. But for AI, it has to happen.
Exactly.
So for us, we don't place us. All right, yeah.
True value to these perpetrators lies in the profit, not the human lives. Here we go. Why don't we follow the AI path toward an interesting logical conclusion? The Agarthan Brian Johnsons.
Brian Johnson.
Who's that?
Wait, is that the guy who did Star Wars or whatever?
No,
Knives Out?
No,
that's Rian Johnson.
Brian Johnson is a billionaire who's heavily invested in the idea of physical immortality. I'm sure you've seen many of his videos on your feed. His motto is, "Don't die." This is easy for him to say. As a member of the elite and a proponent of artificial intelligence in health, as great of a cause as it seems to be, there's another elite who is heavily invested in the idea of living forever. There's another elite who is actively researching consciousness transfer and human cloning. That guy is, oh, drum roll, drum roll, drum roll, drum roll, drum roll, Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh my God!
Yeah, Jeffrey Epstein.
Wait, is that real? Is that real?
Yeah.
Huh.
He was invested in cloning and consciousness transfer. Now, I don't believe every Brian Johnson is a Jeffrey Epstein or is invested in the mass extinction of poor people. But here's how the systems we exist within could create this outcome. I'm going to flow here.
Flow.
Save all comments for the end. This is my flow.
Okay, flow time. No interruptions.
As AI advances, more people will lose their jobs. If our current political system is in place, this will not get better. Sacrifice zones will increase to the size of states. Our air will become further polluted. Our drinking water will be all sucked up. All of our Brian Johnsons of the world will move into the line in Saudi Arabia. They'll have the self-sustaining farming residences that we all should have had. They'll plugs out their orifices directly into the ChatGPT hive mind in the walls. Most outside the line will perish, but these Brian Johnsons will be literal Greek gods descending from their immortality chambers to come and rape us mortals Jeffrey Epstein style. Our pain will power the AI like Monsters, Inc., but it won't be enough for them. They'll leave mortals up on top of the crust. It'll take a couple thousand years, but we'll forget about it all and revert to cave dwellers. Then one day, Mr. Immortal Brian Johnson will emerge from Antarctica. He's going to come help out our species, and we're going to feel so grateful and put him in our hieroglyphics and all that. And he's going to tell us to build weird pyramid structures in alignment with the stars using highly conductive materials. And we're going to be like, that's kind of weird, but we'll do it anyway, because he showed all of us a porn music video. Then with every natural rumble and shake of the earth, with every lightning strike, with every gust of wind, these monuments we've constructed will power all the Brian Johnsons down there while they drink their olive oil. That's the great filter, I'm pretty sure. maybe we gotta stop that soon.
Don't listen to building a pyramid. So did the Egyptians fall for it? Like this is an
I
endless
think the
cycle where
Egyptians fell for it. I think the great filter is rich people. They need power for their AI, so they retreat underground
and their
make,
immortality, so they get the
yeah,
primitive world to believe they're building something for a god or something,
yeah.
and they essentially are, and it gets funneled down to the underground
The
area that they're
underground
in.
god is AI, and that's why the moon is hollow. That's why when you ram a spaceship into the moon, it rings like a bell, because the moon is hollow. They've got an AI thing in there, and it's
What the fuck are they doing on the moon? Why don't they keep it to Earth? The vibrations of the Earth are more powerful to harness than the moon's
because
vibrations.
after a couple cycles, rich people kept coming down into the middle of the Earth, being like, "Oh, you had the same idea as us," and then one group decided to come to the moon.
Funnily enough, just last night I was watching all this like kind of like the larger meaning behind older civilizations type stuff. You know, it's so funny that now you're talking about it because there was this building, I forget what it's called, but it's like it's been this civilization from like 10,000, 15,000 years ago, older than the Egyptians, I think, or just roughly about as old, carved an entire perfectly like mathematicized, like perfect, like whole city. And they said that they made it probably with like chisels
Are you
and
talking about
hammers.
Göbekli Tepe?
I think so. I think that's it.
Or you're talking
Göbekli
about
Tepe City.
Or you're talking about Angkor Wat.
But no, it was made out of volcanic rock. They couldn't find where they fucking put it. It's like you have to be carving this out and then placing it somewhere. It's very perfect. There's areas in the city itself that naturally amplify the resonance of certain frequencies. So if you were to hum, it gets really loud and it reverberates that. And the city is so perfect. If they got it wrong in any spots, like it'd probably pretty much essentially collapse, but it's super pristine. The same kind of like confliction we enter with looking at the Egyptian shit and being like, how did they cut it so perfect? And I think like the technology of yesteryear, the shit that like the deep state or the government or whatever the shadowy elite, they may be trying to like make us think is not possible or real, is that. Yes, correct.
Yes.
It's the importance of vibration, how sound like can be harnessed into technology. Like like a lot of energy is just all of energy is just pretty much vibration. That's what technically it is. So, but sound is its own kind of like version of it. So essentially, what I figure they were able to use like blow horns or something. They had some sort of technological development
like
where they
Crystal
amplify
Castle.
their own voice.
No, Coral Castle. Coral Castle.
Crystal Castle's the band.
Coral Castle was this monument in like the 60s. This guy moved like 20-ton stones, but nobody ever saw how he did it because he would do it at night when everybody's sleeping. And they say
oh my god,
one day
that's so cartoonish. I love that. Just like he did it at night.
One
so
day
saw it like Santa.
One day some delivery driver wanted to transport the Crystal Castle somewhere else, but it was like tonnage that needed to be put into the car. And then he says he walked away for a little bit, then he came back and everything was in the car. Everything was in the car. The 20-ton stone. I don't know if a truck can carry 20 tons. Maybe that's a lie. But
yeah,
people were thinking he was using some kind of vibration stuff to move the rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not even that crazy because sound, you know that like little experiment where it's like the ping pong ball floats because of sound?
Yeah. I was in my kitchen. I was in my kitchen like a year ago, and I decided to see if I could hum at the same frequency of the pans that were hanging up there. And I hummed, and I got the same frequency, and they started to shake a little bit.
It's right there, I feel.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even a pseudoscience or something. Vibration is energy that has effects with things that are able to receive the energy differently than other shit. So they found out the frequency of rocks or what it's able to interpret, and they use it to carve stuff.
It's
because
the same
eventually
thing. Do you know the biblical story of the walls of Jericho?
I've very vaguely, I think, heard about that at some point. Walls
So
of
there,
Jericho.
this fortress Jericho, something something, people wanted to get in, or people were keeping somebody out, and it was said that God told the people to go blow a horn 3 times besides the walls of Jericho. And on the third blow, the walls collapsed. And that could be a vibration thing, because Jericho
What was
was an
that?
actual ancient city from 3,000 years ago, and the walls did collapse. So
Oh. Well, I mean, think of
was
it
it a
this way.
was
It's
it
like
was it 3,000-year-old dynamite, or was it a horn being blown?
here you know exactly what that type of stuff where people like they use instances of connecting a real thing that likely happened in real life to the Bible and being like, well, look, if it happened in real life, that means everything in the Bible must be true. Well, look at Breaking Bad, for example. World
Yeah.
War II exists in the Breaking Bad universe because it's a representation of real life. So I feel like the Bible is pretty much a fan fiction of our own reality, taking things that we have done, and we're like, let's give it a new purpose. What if like World War II, but the aliens helped us? So it's like with the Bible, Noah's Ark, there was probably a boat. Some guy did build. He's
Yeah.
like, everyone fucking get on it. But it's like they gave it a purpose within a new story, which is the Bible, which is religion.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's shit that exists with Jericho's walls. That was probably a real thing, and then they gave it religious meaning. But that doesn't mean everything. Now that confirms everything in the Bible. God is real. Jesus is real. Like Jesus was also probably real. Was he really God's son? Probably not. But we gave it fucking meaning. So
The next
that's
Bible is going to be a Two Cool Guys video essay. We've got to find the exact frequency that blows up AI. We got to find the frequency to ChatGPT, the frequency to Claude, the frequency to the Waymos.
the frequency to
Wait,
Claude making
no.
Bible 2.
You know the Waymos, they're driving around and they're like,
I do not know what a Waymo is.
Waymo, it's the self-driving taxi. The self-driving taxi
Oh.
that they're using to replace Uber drivers. That's
Oh
what a
yeah,
Waymo
because
is.
it's electric. They have to make like a heavenly like choir noise to like let you know it's there.
We just gotta replicate that noise. Build a horn, a brass horn that vibrates the same frequency as the Waymos. Blow up the Waymos. Blow up the Chat GPTs. Blow up the Claudes. Blow up the Perplexities. Blow up
blow
the
it all
Groks. Get the gold inside.
You
Get the
got
gold inside.
rock.
There's gold inside data centers. Blow them up. You can get the gold.
Yeah, our current Jericho wall is the Grok data center. We need to
Our
blow a
current
horn
Jericho
at that and
wall.
match its frequency.
Is Sam Altman's house.
Well, anyway, another thing
Yeah.
I wanted to add about the old world is we were probably like kind of fantastical. Like we did a lot of cool shit. We were probably the reason a lot of this stuff existed was because there was no capitalism necessarily in the way we want to go about it today that held us back from like discovering these really helpful ideas to propel civilization, because this was our first time doing it. Like we're discovering awesome shit, we're like, yes, obviously use fucking sound to cut stuff, so everything got awesome.
The 20 missing scientists.
Well, let's get to that in a second, because let me just finish my thought here. So it's like, yes, we got awesome. We probably Atlantis. We had different versions of humans and stuff, and it seems like aliens, but it's probably just all us doing awesome stuff. Have hovering technology. We got pyramids that Nikola Tesla, right, harnessing the energy from the Earth's vibrations. We probably figured that shit out. I mean, we're more like one with the Earth back then. So we did that, and essentially, I feel like there was a war or something that happened, which then blasted us back to the Stone Age, and all the stuff that otherwise was the technology that made us awesome, it got removed, by the nukes or something, or us.
Every scientist who gets close to discovering that technology again is being wiped out by the government.
And now, in fact, the war could have started because there could have been some faction of us back then that was like, well, if we know what happens after we die, we know all this awesome stuff with frequency that makes life easy and peaceful, like we're in a fucking age of Eden, like what's the purpose of anything? Like there could have been a whole civilization that's like, well, this just seems boring now. Like, we're too awesome. So there could have been more spot, but literally just all about that, because like we're too awesome, and that was the driving force that creates the nugget to our current system, is these people who want to make life procedurally difficult in the way it is. Because if we did understand what waits for us in the afterlife, if we did talk to animals and, you know, the fucking trees, and we feel so content with ourselves, where's the drama? Where's the fun? Like, we know where we're going when we die. Like, what the fuck is the point of doing anything in real life? We're able to cut shit with stone. There's no real just meat to existence. Like, why don't I just kill myself?
What if what if AI is being built to prevent us discovering new things? Because all our answers are gonna come from
AI itself,
knowledge that we've already accumulated. No new ideas, just ideas based on everything else.
Because if like, we get too dependent on using it to help us think, that we become non-thinkers ourselves. Like, it'll just do the thinking for us, which keeps us even more severely in line.
I think
you know there's this cool spot. There's this cool spot where, okay, there's this area, I forget what it's called, but I watched this guy just this other night, like I told you, and he said this entire area, after they uncovered it, there was a whole layer of glassed sand. Like, you know, when you burn sand, it starts glassing. And the only way that can happen is if lightning strikes sand, or in the exact way it looks, it compares it it's directly comparable to how sand looks after a nuke blasts an area. So it looks identical to it. And I think that's probably what happened. We literally actually just blew ourselves up, and we did like nuke ourselves into the Stone Age or whatever, into an older society, and everything was just pretty much fucking burned eventually over time, got lost.
Then you know how the pyramids were further from Cleopatra than she was to the iPhone. Maybe the pyramids were built by people with the ancient knowledge, the knowledge from before the nuke hit, but that slowly got lost in the 3,000 years.
God, it's incredible. People do not realize how much time is in between everything.
Yeah.
Right now, imagine everything that's happened since 1900s, like Coca-Cola, everything's so old, everything there, 100 years to now. And that's just 1/10 of 1,000 years. In Cleopatra, relative to when the pyramids were built or something, I don't know. How long was it?
3,000.
1,000 years?
3,000.
3,000 years?